how'd you come up with what Mike can do with sales? How'd you figure this out? Anybody? Yeah.
Well, I say that he'd be working Monday to Friday the way I did it, and he said they're making 100 per week, so I calculated how many days they work a week.
Alright.
Over the whole period of the span.
So how many would you come up with that?
I don't know the number that I was going to give them, but
Okay.
it was like 30 weeks for,
Yeah, 30 weeks at $100.
he has like $6,000, and then for the other part, he has like 2 rush times.
Well, 30 weeks, or 12 to 15. I think it's still more than that, but okay.
Yeah. 8 months is $3,600 you would make.
That's working for what? That's
That's $100 a week.
Okay,
For 8 months.
$600.
Yeah, split it up into like 2. I did like 2 occasional times in between the rush times.
Okay, so it's $3,600. That's what you come up with most of you?
For 8 months of the year.
For 8 months of the year? That's $100 times $500 a week, right? No,
It's
$100 a
month,
week
yeah.
times 36 weeks is $3,600. Okay, now what? What else?
You take his 4 months,
Go
which
ahead.
gave you $13,420, was $100, an average of $110 a day. For
How
4
many,
months,
did you give it 6 or 7 days?
7 days a week.
So you took 7 days a week, so you took, how many weeks? 16 weeks times, what'd you do, round it to 110?
Yeah, well, yeah,
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 one-
Okay, so what'd you come up with then? What's that?
13,400, I have 13,420.
Okay, so it's somewhere in that range. You put 120, correct? You put 120, some of you may have said only 6 days a week. Is that correct? Is that what most of you got, somewhere around?
$17,000.
It doesn't matter, somewhere around that. It could have been higher, it could have been a little lower.
Yeah.
Did anybody else come up with any of the numbers? Any of the numbers like that?
I got like 1,400, 13,650.
What?
I got 13,650 for 5 days a week.
What did you come up with the total sales?
13,650.
You only did 5 days a week then on the peak.
Yeah.
Okay, that's, you know, in reality, if he doesn't work hard during those peak days and doesn't put 7 day a week, he
Those
just,
type of hour days.
he's not exactly killing it with $20,000.
$10 an hour for 10 hours or something.
So,
Yeah, but you have to minus all like the insurance expenses.
oh, we're going to that in a
Well,
second.
that's afterwards, it's just total sales now.
It was just sales, I understand, hold on. So, nobody threw in the industrial business, the $7,000, there was $7,000 of industrial, but nobody threw that in?
I don't think he threw
Oh, excuse me?
I put it in after.
Okay, you can put it in after. So that $7,000 either should have been included, the doctor doesn't want that business, either should have been included in this, or it should have been included as one of your ideas. Because that was $7,000 sitting out there, which it seems to be the doctor doesn't really care about, being a big business, yeah.
I wrote that, if he uses my ideas, he could try to take that potential market share, the $7,000.
No, that $7,000 is his no matter what.
Okay.
It's his no matter what. The guy doesn't want that business. It's a small amount of money. So that could have been included here, could have been included as one of the ideas, but it should have been included somewhere. The bottom line, whether you came up with $14,000 in sales, whether you came up with $18,000 in sales, he still has expenses of about $4,000. So he's netting after expenses like $13,000, $14,000. It's a nothing. He's making almost no money. That's the bottom line. He's probably get more unemployment, stay home or whatever. Because he's way, when you take his expenses, it's an almost an unfeasible amount of money, even if he's living in an area where there's a very low cost of living. It's just not acceptable. You know, he's got to go. If he can't move the business forward, he's got to get another business or something, or get out of this business. So the reason why that was part one. The reason why I want you to understand that is that he is doing extremely poorly in this marketplace. Because all you did is come up with the sales, and we didn't even count the expenses. So his profit and loss statement is a disaster. Okay, so with that said, if I remember I told you that if we took the marketable potential at about $1 million, Mike's doing about $20,000, so that leaves about $980,000 for Falco. Remember we went over that? And we said, here's the pool, there's $1 million and Mike's doing 20, there's only one competitor, Malcolm. He's gotta go after that. He's gotta go after some of his sales. There's no other way. There's no other competitors, it's not like he can take from 10 people, he's gotta go after only one person. So, what were your ideas? Tell me. Raise your hand. What were some of your ideas? Yeah.
I did next day cleanup because, with Malcolm, there's a 2-week wait.
Okay, so one idea you should have definitely came up with is, whether it's next day, whether it's 72 hours, you should, because one of his weaknesses was speed. It takes 2 weeks, so.
Capitalize on the availability.
Yeah, that's a niche, because now you have a differentiation, because Malcolm's 2 weeks, and if you're 72 hours, that's a niche, that's a differentiation. So that's definitely one way to position himself a little differently, and to get the people who don't wanna wait. So that's gonna give him some part of the business, without a doubt. Some people don't wanna wait. That's one positioning or one differentiation that you should have had down, yes.
More advertising,
How do you say it was gonna advertise?
more do social media advertising instead of just having a newspaper.
Okay, so what did you say in your paper? What should he do in social media? What's the basic he should do?
Like newspapers, not newspapers, TVs, radios, internet.
Now forget about that. What'd you put down for social marketing? Or for that? Does he have a website, this guy?
No.
So basically, he's gotta get a website.
Yeah.
And then from the website, they can, Facebook and Instagram, maybe you can show pictures of his great work. I don't know, but he's gotta do something, because that's inexpensive.
Of course.
So that's another way to go. He's gotta let people out there talk about him, and he's gotta use the social media aspect, which he can't afford, to get some type of buzz. Whether it's gonna work, and I don't know, because most people probably even know he exists, because he's so small. And you make social marketing work, you gotta have some type of core to start talking. So, but okay, good, what'd you say? What else did you say?
I said due to limited capital, that he should get involved with the community.
How?
How?
Yeah.
By getting involved with like walks that they have and.
Yeah, you should get
whatever
involved in
they're
the
doing.
community, that's a real good idea. So, you have the Rotary Club, or anything the community's doing, he should have his face there every single time, without a doubt. So, that's very important. That goes back to the social marketing aspect. Listen, he gets his face out there, he gives them his card, he gives them their website, he maybe they could generate some business. So he should get involved in the community. What else? Yes?
I wrote going green to differentiate himself from Alcon.
Okay, if he can go green, and somehow that's a differentiation. And say his is, less pollutant, more green, better for the environment.
It's more customer friendly.
That's more customer friendly, and that's an idea. These aren't expensive ideas, these are things that he's gotta differentiate himself from Balcom. So, that's another idea. Who else did I hear what you said?
What, he was a US veteran?
Yeah, I think he can play off the veteran status. I think he should play that off whenever he can. So I would definitely play off, he served in service and things of that nature. I would play that off, everywhere, to build an image of it. Especially in a town like that, I think that may be very important.
I just seen a furniture commercial where the guy just.
Yeah, no, but in a small town like this, in a resort town like that, I think that would play very well. That would play very well. So that's definitely a way to promote yourself. What else? Yes,
Give promotional offers, like.
more promotional offers.
Like package deals, like if you, if I clean you for, say, a couple of times, the next one will be free or something like that.
Okay, any type of package or promotional deals without reducing his price, because you don't wanna sell your services cheap. But promotional things of that nature is a way to make it sound like people are getting a deal. People want a deal. So make them sound like they're getting a deal. I'll get back to you in a second, yeah.
Based on I do like a refer friend program, because then that,
Okay, and if there's any referrals, he can, do something, a discount or something if you refer somebody and at least do a job, anything like that, again, hooks into social marketing, hooks into people who like you, can get your, maybe another customer. That's how you start picking one customer up at a time. Yep.
He's gotta create a quality carrot, and like Gotham can compete with him, and I thought maybe go like a furniture store, up and coming furniture store, and try to like showcase how he's working all that stuff.
Okay, but I'll get to you in a second. Who gets the referrals from all the stores?
Gotham.
Malcolm gets them. Did anybody recommend that Mike should go in there and get those referrals? Anybody come up with that recommendation? Come up with that recommendation?
I put together something like that, yes.
Good. Did you put something like that?
Yeah.
Good. That's, he's gotta go to these stores. See, these stores are giving Malcolm the referrals, because there is nobody. There is nobody. So, if Mike goes to these stores and tells them, listen, if every referral I get, I'll give you $50, boy, the guys are gonna say, Malcolm never gave me anything. And not only will they probably give it to him, assuming Mike does quality work, they're gonna be very angry at Malcolm. If Malcolm goes back and says, well, listen, why are you giving Mike these referrals? And they're gonna say, well, we give you referrals for 20 years, you gave us nothing, you owe me like $20,000. It's a no-win situation for Malcolm. I can't see Malcolm all of a sudden offering money, because he didn't do that all this time. And I don't think Mike's gonna lose that. So again, he gets the referrals. Every one of these things you mentioned are important, because this is how you move your business forward. You got to make these things happen. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say like, you can like, outside like furniture stores or home improvement stores, people where like, you can buy carpet cleaners and stuff like that, you can give out his flyers.
Absolutely.
Like show like his package, like his deals, and like, I said something also like, he can do like something extra for like clients.
Okay.
Like take out their trash along with like something else to differentiate himself.
Okay. Instead of advertising in a newspaper, which is nonsense, it ain't gonna mean anything. He got to put together a brochure, you know, on his business, a full color, where so it looks a little classy, which makes his, because if it looks classy, that connotates quality. You know, it goes hand in hand. If the brochure he does or anything is a piece of junk, then it qualitates garbage. So he's got to do a brochure, and, you know, with the information, he's got to get business cards, and that's very important to drop them off. Any place, anywhere. Maybe have all the kids go and put in people's mailboxes. I don't know. That's important. Yeah.
What if you were to like advertise with like girls in bikinis, with, like steamping, sex sells?
No, sex doesn't sell.
And then he doesn't pull through with the sexy girls.
No, sex will get your attention, but not necessarily will if it doesn't relate to your product, it usually doesn't help your business. It gets impacted, then nothing happens. But no, I'll go along with that. What if you put it down, I'll go along with that, but it doesn't come to bikini in my house, you know what I mean? What the hell? Give them a shot, you know what I mean? Good things may happen in life. It's not a bad promotion. I'm just telling you, reality studies have shown that if the sex doesn't apply really to the product and have a correlation to the product, it does get attention, but it doesn't mean that it's going to move the consumer to buy it or seek out, you know, the product. It will get your attention, and he has to get attention, so it probably couldn't hurt. Anybody else? Anybody else? Because I'm gonna go, if you don't say it, tell me now, and if I tell you yes, I'll just walk it off. Yeah, go ahead.
I feel a lot of ideas. He should get like a logo and like maybe like a brand phone number, that people can remember quick.
Okay.
Pick him,
Can't hurt.
dress professionally, you know, act like a little.
Okay.
People want to see a uniform, it looks professional. You
Okay.
should put a little Army, the Frogman in there, you know, it's all nature, I feel like a natural thing.
All right.
I feel a lot of ideas.
All right, good.
You'll see.
All right. Yeah.
I don't know if this is feasible, but it says one other firm operated in Traverse City that was near bankruptcy. Maybe he buys out or merges with that firm.
Yeah, but that firm's gone.
Then,
It's
yeah.
gone.
That messed me up at first. I thought that thing was still in business.
Yeah,
and
that's what I
wrote like a
figured.
whole paragraph on it, and I was like, oh shit, it went out.
No, they're out of business.
Yeah.
So that's,
That's what I was saying.
and by the way, if they're out of business or in bankruptcy, the last thing Mike needs is another losing proposition to tie into. So that's probably not a good idea anyway. I mean, if they were viable, sure, he'd try to merge with them.
Unless like quality was like their downfall, and then Mike has, you know, plenty of that. so
Yeah, but they got a
incorporate
bad,
as
if
well.
quality was their downfall, then they got a bad reputation. Mike doesn't wanna be associated with him, because he's offering faster service with the same quality. So you gotta be very careful on that. Anybody else? Yes?
I figured he could double his business, like his initial cost, he could drop those again after the year end and hire, like, you know, because he would have a second van, that way he could probably put about 2 employees at $7 an hour.
He's gotta hire up, by the way.
Yeah,
He has, to everything you mentioned here, somebody's gotta do this work, he's gotta hire up.
yeah, I
He's gotta
figured,
hire people that are dependable,
I figured,
and not that expensive.
I feel like during the season we should do that.
Oh, he has to hire
Yeah,
during the season.
yeah,
During the season.
It's a seasonality.
I figured he could do a seasonal approach for like the 4 months that he's really busy, he could have employees at $7 an hour, he could have 3 employees if he doubles his business. They'll have 2 vans, that way he can have an extra employee in his van, then he can have 2 on their own. And they'll, you know, he got $7 an hour, like the 2 employees together could, you know, would produce technically double the profits. So, you know, like, like you minus the $7 an hour total for the 4 months, and you would have $11,000 over just from those 2 employees.
Okay,
And then on top, you know, like, whatever else he would get an extra 6,000 from that 1 employee with him.
okay. No, he has to hire up, because everything we mentioned here requires, if you're gonna do 72-hour service or 24-hour service, you gotta hire up. He can't do this himself. He's gotta put, you know, 12-hour days or 7 days a week during the peak season, but he's gotta hire up. There's no way, if he's gonna start growing, he's gotta get, maybe he can get some of the people from that bankruptcy company. You know, who knows, but he's gotta hire up. There's no way, other way about it, he must hire people, yeah, good people.
I
Which is
said
not
that,
which is a little difficult at times, go ahead.
I said a membership discount.
Okay, that's fine, anything that gets them tied into you, that's fine, yes?
I said to see what else the consumers want, maybe they have hardwood floors in their house too, and want those.
Okay, you can expand out services that maybe is still in the genre of the house, but that can't help, that can't hurt you. So you're gonna get your foot in the door, yep.
I also figured he could veer away from like the residential services, since Stockton has such a strong hold over that.
But that's
He
where
could
the
go into
business is though.
But you can go into commercial businesses.
So
and
we said that's the 7,000.
Yeah, well, you can try to expand like within those
Okay.
corporations.
If you can expand, that's great, yes.
For the residential, people, he gets like stray customers from Falcon, so in order to keep them, like, implement a point system for the customers,
Okay,
keep them coming back.
anything like that can hurt. People wanna feel they're building up a business, you know, building up and getting deals, yeah.
I said he could make people offers, so like if they recommend someone else, they get 25% off the
Yeah, we
next
said
thing.
that, yeah.
Oh, you said that?
Yeah, somebody
I
mentioned.
know, I came in late
I
because,
know, that's all right.
cause I was
See, you
just,
gotta come in time, that's the whole
cause
key.
Belcom had a lot of word of mouth advertising,
Yeah,
and that's probably better than any other type.
okay. Who else? Yes,
So you can email promotions,
excuse me?
email promotions.
Okay, email promotions is fine. That's why he's gotta have a website, he's gotta have a card, he's gotta have a full color brochure, and that's extremely important. Anybody else? Yeah,
I got one that's like a little underhand, but since he was a veteran, he could like create a relationship with a good client, right? Kill them, and then have the client vouch for, oh no, you know, Michael's at my house doing this, and then he steals all the Balcom's employees and customers.
Just go to jail.
Give somebody that you were at. Just make them look at, oh no, he has an angry wife. His wife is angry when his
Alibi.
money wasn't there.
Just go to jail. $40,000. You have to.
okay. I'm not so sure I like that idea. I might not give you credit for that one. That's anything's feasible, you know? You read about that every day, you hear on the news, people do things like that. So it's not so out of the ordinary. You can get away with it. Anybody else? Yes.
I don't know if this would work, but like, I was thinking maybe YouTube videos of like a before and after. and
Yeah,
also-
that's why if he has it on his website, he can have a video.
Yeah.
You know, and that jazzes up his website, and that only can help. Yeah.
I said something about like how you can also offer to like clean up if someone's like moving out of their house, offer to like clean up their house or like show house, like an open house, like kind of like clean it for them. Like
Okay,
kind of type of
that's fine.
something like that.
That's fine. Anything else?
I wrote, since the products are lower quality, if anything, try to make this product better quality by using newer technology.
Okay, that's what he said about green too. You get green or say something, just to make it, just to perception, to seem that your products are better.
Well, we can sell products.
He can sell products, he can sell products, but you know, he's got to get in there to sell products.
He needs an inventory of that, yeah.
But he's got to get in there to sell products.
Yeah.
You know, I know you. The best,
More money.
no, your best bet to increase business is to increase the amount of money you get from your present customer. And if you have a green product or something, and then you can sell it to the customer, you know, on the aftermarket, that's money in his pocket. Because he's got to get off this. Right now he's poor. Shh. Yeah.
I think the best thing is the green. I put the green in.
Good.
It's different. And then
Anything
everything's
that differentiates himself is good. Anybody else had any ideas? Yes, sir.
I wrote that since they're both pretty busy during peak season, if Malcolm can't find time to have a client or like service a client, then he can work out a referral system with Mike.
I don't think he'd do that. I don't think that's Malcolm's best interest to do that. I mean, that's fine. I just don't think that would be Malcolm's best interest. You just don't help your competitor out. Really, I mean, you hire up, you do something, but you just don't help him out.
I mean, he did work for him.
I know, but I don't think that's Malcolm's best interest. If he can, fine. If he would do that, fine. I just don't think he would do that. Especially when Mike's trying to take business away from him, and then and Malcolm's gonna help him take business away from him?
I mean, Mike could wait because he's 26 and
No, he can't
been
wait.
in the business for 35 years.
He can't wait. He can't wait. Wonder why he can't wait? Because he's living as his salary after expenses is he can get more on welfare. It's unlivable. But after court, that's why I told you 17, 16, 18, less $4,000 in expenses. He's down to he's netting 14,000. You know, for a full year's work. He can't exist on that. That's before taxes, which he's not going to pay much taxes because he's not making any money. But still, that's even before taxes. We didn't even talk about benefits and health benefits and things he's got to do. He's at a point where he's starving. This guy.
He's got a 0.5% of the
I
market.
think that another idea was like maybe he could have like early promotions. Maybe he could do like off season, like do like, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, make it cheaper, so he gets more money.
Well, not cheaper. We gotta make it sound like promotions.
Promotions, like 10%
Because
or.
you can't reduce your prices. You gotta make a consumer feel they're getting a deal or a sale. But because the last thing you wanna do is pick up all the business and just turn. Because if you just turn dollars, you're wasting your time. You better sit home and do nothing.
Like an early promotion, like
Okay,
maybe like,
good.
like Christmas time, no one's there, like 15%, then March will be like 10% and then full price.
Okay.
It's early, because the off seasons are really off, so.
Okay,
Just to make more money during the year.
good. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I wrote instead of using his 2 half pages, why not just use 1 page?
Yeah. Either way, half pages, 1 page is a waste of money. I'd rather them take this brochure, buy zip code, and do a mailing to all the house, to every single residential household in the area. I mean, the newspaper, that's nothing. It's not gonna stimulate his business, a half a page or a full page, just not. I mean, if you had unlimited funds, it can't hurt you, but it's just not the way to go. Yeah.
So he has move his ad into the wrong section. Like, how are they gonna find it miscellaneous?
It just doesn't matter. It's in 1 day paper, it's gone then, you know, it's a 1 day awareness level. It's just absolutely gone. He does run an ad, he's gotta have some type of promotional thing in the ad, because you gotta give a reason for a person to respond to it. Because right now, it's a waste of money. He just wasted his money. I'd put it someplace else. He needs more trucks, you know.
Like the Chamber of Commerce or those things?
Yeah,
like,
sure, you should go to
put
the
that
Chamber of
there,
Commerce, sure, absolutely.
for business.
Yeah, you gotta go to Chamber of Commerce, get your brochure, or get your brochure there,
Yeah.
give it to them. Anything, that's why somebody said, you gotta get involved in the community. You gotta get involved totally in the community, wherever you can get your name out there, you gotta do, this is a lot of work. All these ideas take work and take time, it's very easy talking about them, but every one of them is not, especially for a guy like Mike, it's not easy to implement. So if either he's gotta implement these things you suggest, or he's gotta get another business. Gotta do something else in life.
Move out of the city.
Yeah, gotta move, go someplace else or something, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna find an easier spot because there's only one competitor. Like you said, he's an older guy, you know, maybe he's not that aggressive anymore. I don't think he can be that aggressive because he's making customers 22 weeks.
Yeah.
So I think the guy is just right to be taken. For these ideas, I know you can take a lot of his business from.
I feel like a crazy idea because I heard it works, because you get dressed up like his mascot, so you could see him, because you could like spot him. Crazy. People, they notice people like that. You know
It's
what I'm
almost as
talking
bad
about?
as killing him.
Mascot. Yeah, they do notice them. I think they get a lot of business from those things.
If you're like a bunch of like junior high kids, like delivering everybody's doorbell like dirty shoes and like go in and like run around the place and like ruin their car.
Oh, I can't do that either.
Go in there with a glass of wine, like throw it into their
A bunch of high school
What are
kids.
you talking about?
Can't wait to be his.
Okay,
Whatever, if it doesn't work, it will them. I thought, we'll see something.
You'll be in
that
jail.
works.
and those type of small cities, you do things like that, they throw you in jail.
You have to do it
They
smart.
don't give you a slap on the wrist, they give you a fine.
I'm just thinking.
All right, well, that's a bad thought. Okay. Well, let's suppose that Mike implemented all these ideas. Let's just suppose he did. And let's just say he took $200,000 of Falcon's business. So now Mike does, $220,000, Falcon does $780,000, somewhere around there. So he took $200,000 after a couple of years, which I don't think is unfeasible. I really don't think it is.
20% of his business.
Remember, it's not so much the sales, it's what you profit. So that's $220,000 in sales. What he nets out, that's another story. He's got a net, after all his expenses, you would hope he would net 25% of that, $50,000, something like that. So let's say he took $200,000 in sale, 220. Let's say 200, so it's an even number. So now he's doing $200,000. Malcolm says to him, so he's doing $200,000, and he has a net earnings of about $50,000, which he's a sole proprietor, he's not getting taxed on that. So his net, so he's technically making $50,000. Big difference in making $12,000. No, when he makes money, he had expenses, So Malcolm comes to him. Malcolm's getting a little tired of Mike. Malcolm goes to him and says, I'll buy you out for $400,000, and you'll work for me for a year, and you'll disappear, and you'll sign a caveat not to compete. That's what you do. You sign a caveat not to compete for X amount of years. I think it's like 7 years or something max in this field, and that's it. And so Malcolm gives him that offer. First year he pays him $50,000. Because he keeps the customers, and then gradually after a year, Mike disappears. And Malcolm has all the business again. Mike disappears, gets $400,000, and he has 1 year pay. And he can't compete in Traverse City for at least 7 years. So, what would you do if you were Mike? Would you take the deal? Would you not take the deal? What would you do? Those are the numbers. What would you do? $400,000, one-time lump sum payment after 1 year of service. And you're gone.
Nope.
No?
Because the business is growing, it's gonna continue to grow, and eventually it's like, really compete head to head with Falcon. Start taking more of the market.
Okay. Who would not take the offer? Raise your hand. Who would take the offer? Why would you take the offer?
Why? Because I would move my business to a different city.
Okay. You started from scratch, so that's not that easy. Why would you take the
I was
offer?
thinking the same thing, you can do something else with that money, open up something else maybe.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else take the offer? Let me tell you something. You take that $400,000, you run as fast as you can. You understand that? He got the easy business. He got the easy business. He got the people who didn't want to wait. And Malcolm is aggressive. He's not going to make you take more business. What's he going to do? Sit there and let you destroy your business? He's going to be very aggressive and very tough on holding his business. And he still owns 75% of the market. So every dollar you get from there is not gonna be easy. He's offering you 8 times profits. Are you kidding me? You take that $400,000 and you run, and you just go and you get the heck out of there. Because that's 8 years of work. And if you think Balcom, unless Balcom is gonna pack it in, which I don't think he is not gonna let you take any more business. You got the easy business. You got the easy business. You got the people who responded to all these things. You really think it's gonna be easy after this to get more business? I don't think it's gonna be easy. So even if you get to that $300,000, he's making $70,000 now. He's getting $400,000 cash. He's getting 2 to 1. 2 to 1. 8 to 1 on earnings. Good God. 2 to 1 on sales. That's a deal you couldn't pass up. You get out and you go. Really. I don't, it would be very foolish for you to hang in there. Yes? The guy was making $15,000, now he's being offered $400,000 lump sum. You can go to Vegas and hire the girls, you know, and have 10 girls standing out his door. Never mind having them promoting the business. You can bring them with them.
Nice and Porsche too.
Well, they'll be having money then in a year, but anyway. Bottom line is that you take this and you leave. You really, you gotta understand that. You can't be greedy. Additional growth is gonna be tough. Unless Balcom's gonna lay dead, and I don't think would you lay dead if you were Balcom? Would you let Mike take all this business? Would you start doing anything you can? You could reduce the price for crying out loud and squeeze Mike. What is Mike gonna do? He's gonna have to reduce the price. Balcom can do a million different things to get the business back from Mike, if he wants to.
You just do that.
Yeah, he can just duplicate the ideas. He can give 24 hours. He can start doing these things. And maybe Mike will hold his business, but I'm telling you, to grow off that, if Balcom becomes more aggressive, it's going to be extremely, extremely, extremely tough. So, 8 times profit, 2 times sales is a great deal. And any investor will tell you that. That's a great offer.
What if you made a counter offer?
What?
What if you made a counter?
What do you mean a counter offer?
Like, he was like, give me 500.
Well, he can ask, but about the one thing, I don't think Mike's worth any more than that. 8 times sales? I mean, 8 times profits, 2 times sales? That would be the max. I don't even know if it's worth that.
Does that happen often
Yeah,
in businesses?
sure it does. Yeah, you sign a copy and not to compete. Basically you're merging with Mike, you take your acquisition Mike.
And what happens if, can you like, as Balcom, could you sue if you like?
No, you'll get a copy and not to compete. If Mike opens up a business, Mike is gonna lose, because Balcom's gonna have the lawyers sign it up. And if Mike decides not to agree to copy and not to compete, Mike would be in terribly legal problems. He would probably owe every single dollar he makes, he would lose in court. And he'd be finished. There would be no reason to do that. He'd just abide by the agreement. So, you're gonna make sure it's ironclad, you always make sure of that. So, that's the story. Mike can definitely grow with the suggestions you said. He has differentiations, he can be more technological, he has green products, 72-hour service, referrals from stores, all these things add up. All these, by the way, make all these things happen, like I said, is an enormous amount of work. If Mike is not a go-getter, and he's not like this will never happen, by the way. I can't do this, I can't do that, I don't know this, I don't want to do that. And that's the way it is. If he's making, maybe get his sales up to 40,000, maybe make, 25,000, 20,000 profit, maybe. It's probably not even that much, because he has to hire up. Any questions on this case? So I'll give it back to you, Nick. Take your case. You don't mind it. Anybody else have a case? Well, the cases are here. If the case is not here, then it is, you don't have to worry about it. Is that correct? I think there's some people who didn't show up. Not a lot. Okay. Let's move forward. So the last thing we covered was the product life cycle. So what were the 4 steps in the product life cycle? gonna study the notes as we go forward, right?
Intro, growth, maturity, decline.
Yeah, good reader. What does that mean? Tell me, what does it mean? Don't get your notes, what does it mean? That's the intro.
Just getting started, you
So
gotta lay
it-
down all your down payments, basically.
So he's advertising high or low?
It's, everything's super high.
Everything so, super high.
Always cost the high, he's making no profit, if anything, he's losing money.
Okay. You go to introduction, right? And what happens there? What happens there, you hope happens, go ahead.
It's pretty much like what Mike's doing right now. And
What does that make sense? These sales go up, you start to make a profit, right?
Sales are low,
I know, but I'm saying introduction,
yeah.
in the growth stage, your sales go up.
Oh, yeah.
Then what happens in the maturity stage? Which Mike is not even in the maturity stage. Mike is nowhere right now. Mike is just, he's just a dot on a bubble. He has no life cycle right now. His life cycle is like this, but it's so low, he never even curved up. He's flatlined at 17,000. That's it. He has no, he's not going like this. That's why I said not every life cycle goes like this. He's just terribly straight line disaster. Yeah.
Well, after sales go up and you start to make a profit, you enter the maturity stage.
What does that mean?
You lower your ads because you're already.
No, maturity stage you may have to raise it. Intro, during the growth stage, maybe you can lower advertising. During the maturity stage, your sales are at its highest. Remember, you reach the highest hits, so maybe to defend your market share, you may have to increase advertising a little. But you have the money to do it because your sales are at the highest level. What's the last stage? Decline. Which means that business is not looking that great. And somehow you should not invest a lot of money in a business that's a loser. You should invest in the future with new products and new whatever. So that was chapter 5, wasn't it? Everybody, wasn't that chapter 5? We all read chapter 5? Was that chapter 5 or was that chapter
Chapter 9.
Okay. And then we went over in chapter 9, which the 8 steps in the new product development process, correct? And we said idea generation was the first. That's where everything starts from, even though ideas are not worth anything until you make them become reality. And you screen out certain ideas, and then you test your ideas, which is the concept. The market strategy development. What's market strategy development? What does that mean? The 4th step. What did we say were the components of market strategy development? Anybody?
Hitting up your target market, planning your value proposition, sales, market share, profit goals.
Yeah, you're doing everything you're writing a marketing plan up with 5-year profit goals, 5-year sales goals,
Sales
market share,
forecasting,
sales forecasting, your whole marketing mix, your whole advertising mix, everything.
developing potential, market
Yeah,
potential.
everything. You're doing everything there to come up with a feasible plan for how your business is gonna happen. And then the business analysis is analyzing step 4. If it says if it's a go, you then go into product development. Then you may test market, you may not. Many businesses I told you do not test market. And you go to commercialization. Commercialization means taking the business forward. And whatever was in your plan. Doesn't mean going nationwide, but it can mean if you're a major company. And that's what we covered from that chapter. So if you look at our course syllabus, please read these chapters and study your notes.
Chapter 14 now?
Yeah, so that was chapter 9, so we're gonna go to chapter 14. So 14, 15, and 16 we'll be covering, up until, the Monday of Thanksgiving, which is 11/24. 14, 15, and 16 is on advertising and promotion. I told everybody to bring a calculator in too, right? Everybody got a calculator?
Yeah.
Okay, we may or may not use it today, but we will use it the rest of the semester. So, chapter 14, go to page 407 in the book. Everybody brought their book with them? You remember, we had 4 P's, and one of the P's was promotion. And this promotion is sometimes called the communication mix. Or the communication P, or the communication mix. So, You have product, place, promotion, and price. What we're concentrating on right now is promotion, or sometimes they call that the communication P. And you go to chapter 14, page 407. I've covered this already because I went over with you the parts of the promotional mix, or in this case, we want to call it the communication mix. On page 407, the only thing they do, they throw in direct marketing, and that's targeting individual consumers. So we went in class, we talked about advertising, sales promotion, personal selling, public relations, and direct marketing. Under sales promotion, let's do that one first. What were the two parts of sales promotion? Anybody remember? So we had consumer and trade. This is sales promotion. The consumer was the coupons, the sweepstakes, the refunds, the rebates, which can be done online or can be done, you know, going to a store with them, some of these promotions. And then the trade promotions, trade means store, was what you can do to get these chains to promote with you. And we said they could put a display up, they could put the product in their circular, they can advertise for you, they can put the product on sale. So those were short-term incentives to encourage the purchase or sale of a product or service. That's what the book says. In advertising, one of the major promotional tools, that is a long-term build. That is the TV, radio, newspapers, magazines, billboards, transit, social marketing, all the things we talked about, that's advertising. You know, YouTube, anything like that, your website, that's all part of advertising. And that's a long-term build. So the difference between advertising and sales promotion, advertising is a long-term build with real brand equity. It's not what it's supposed to be anyway. Long-term build. And promotion is a short-term build. You give these promotions out there and you get bumps in sales. You know, you go like that, and you go like that, you go like that, you go like that, and you get these bumps. Where advertising is supposed to build your brand like that. It's supposed to. It builds brand equity. But you need a combination of both, especially if you're selling consumer products. So if you're selling consumer products, you know, a lot of companies spend as much money on sales promotion if they sell consumer products as they spend on advertising. Because people, you know, want to feel that they're getting some type of deal, you know. So promotion is an extremely an important short-term incentive to encourage purchases. That's what the whole retail business is about, you know. Sale, sale, sale. Get you into there and make you buy. So those are the two of the five major. And then personal selling, we said you got to have people to go out and sell these stores or go to companies and service their needs in terms of telling them how to run these software programs. It's all different types of selling. And public relations is creating, you know, a good corporate image. We mentioned that, you know, the first class, and how PR and social marketing is sort of blurred, you know, and that also social marketing can fall into advertising. But PR and social marketing are today really almost one-fold. It's just to make you be part of the community and build good relationships. And that's why most PR firms today say they also specialize in social marketing, because they have to. They go hand in hand. It's just not getting a blurb in a paper today saying, you know, what a great product you have. That's old PR. Today is to get some celebrity to tweet that they use your product. That's new PR. So that's why, like I said, PR and social marketing are intertwined today. The public relations business has changed. It's still communication, but it has changed. And the last one, which we didn't include, like in the second class, is direct marketing. And so in this part of the book, they took it out of advertising. Direct marketing is so big today, and And it is so, the waste factors are minimal that the book, you know, has decided to take that and make it the fit promotional tool. And that's targeting individual consumers to get an immediate response. And that's databases and data mining and finding out who your consumer is and sending them emails and direct mail and things of that nature, which if it's the right database, the waste factor is minimal.
That goes with like analyzing your target market?
Yeah, it's really direct marketing is analyzing your target market, but it's getting a database of people who are most likely to buy. Yeah, well, like if you're CVS,
Demographics.
yeah, you have 6,000 stores, and when you can't get a sale unless you give you have a card or a phone number, and so CVS then give that information to any manufacturer who wants that information, and they can run promotions with CVS because they see what you bought, and they can do which is old-fashioned, do a direct mail to you, and if they know that you bought in that category, and so that's like one-on-one marketing, and the waste factor is minimal, and that's what you do when you buy products and they ask for your email address. Everybody does it. When you buy online, they confirm you with an email, and then well now you're going to get emails from them depending on how aggressive they are every 3 days, asking telling you to buy things, and that's direct marketing, and you are a prime target because you've already bought from them. So anytime you join these frequency groups, or all these things, this is what they want. They want your email address, and they can monitor what you're doing, and they reach you, and it's very effective and efficient, and very cost efficient. There is, in advertising TV, it's a tremendous waste factor. In direct marketing, if you have the right database and you know what you're doing, the waste factors are minimal. Yeah.
Forgot what I was gonna say, never mind.
All right. Here comes the ignorance. So that's direct marketing. It's a big thing today. Yes, go ahead.
So say you take yourself off the mailing list, do they still have that information of yours to target you?
Yeah, sure they do. Sure they do. What you buy online, or you sign up for anything, you're in the database. It's not so easy to get out of that either. And that's it. You're a prime audience. Technically, if you opt, sometimes they have a thing you want to opt out, you can, and they may not send it to you. I don't know how quick that will happen. But the bottom line is that this direct marketing is very big today. It's a very efficient way. So, every time you give out your email address or your home address or phone number, you're a prime target. And emailing is the cheapest, most efficient way, or texting today too. Now they will text you, and that you want to be careful on. You don't want to get a million texts from companies. That's the wave of the future is mobile anyway, without a doubt. That's how mobile is just starting to go forward in terms of advertising. Now that will be very big in the next 5 years. It's getting bigger now, very big in Japan and the other countries. We're a little behind, so mobile's in, yeah.
A lot of bars do that. They'll text you right to your cell phone.
Yeah, I know, it's in. I'm telling you, texting is in, and mobile advertising is in, and passing. You can have the apps now where you can
Push notifications.
Yeah, and if you pass a store or pass a location which you have an app, they automatically can pick that up and notify you before we know you like us, so here we are. Which, that's the way it's gonna be, like it or not, yeah.
Is that cheap advertisement?
Oh, that's very inexpensive.
Yeah, right?
The waste factor is minimal. It's very effective, efficient, and cheap. mobile advertising today is very, very, very cheap.
Even on the applications, the apps?
Yeah, it's very cheap.
All it is a few lines of code.
It's very, very, very cheap.
Yeah, but I would imagine for the bigger apps, it'd be more expensive, right? Ones that a lot of people are
But it's
using?
but it's very cheap. When the cost of reaching that audience is extremely cheap based on traditional media. You know, a comparison. Nothing's cheap, but based on comparisons, it's very effective and very inexpensive. And it's the way of the future. So, those are the 5, major tools in the marketing communication mix. Those are the ways you communicate to your target audience, to explain to them, your target audience, about your products and your services, and now it's just, the mix has changed. The mix has changed. The mix is gone, Promotion's still very big at store level. That has not changed. Very, very, very big. Although people will tell you, no, it is extremely millions and hundreds of millions of dollars spent on sales promotion. The key is, a new form of PR, new forms of advertising. And so the mix is changing. So, if we go to page 413 in your book, it talks about the communication process. 413 in your book. In figure 14.2, on page 413, it talks about the elements in the communication process. So it starts off, come on everybody, quiet. It starts off with the sender.
The communication process, that in the second part of the objective outline?
No, it's on page 413 of the book.
No, I know, but is it part of, because the objective outline from the beginning, has the promo mix, integrated marketing?
That's all part of, it's all intertwined, yes, it's part of.
No, yeah, but which part is the
What's
communication?
chapter 14? What are you talking about? This is what it's called, right here. Elements in the communication. Yes, it is. This is chapter 14. We're doing 14, 15, 16.
No, yeah, the objectives, so I'm looking at the 4 objectives. I think we're on the, yeah, okay, there you go. All right.
Okay.
Just trying to get things in order.
As we hope with you, know what I mean? So, chapter 14, figure 14.2, we went over the tools in the communication mix, which were the 5 of them. This is called the communication process. This is how advertising is supposed to work. So, first you have a sender. So you have a sender. The sender, who's the sender?
Company?
The company. So the company is the sender. And again, some products stand alone, so we view that product as the company. You understand that? So if you're Bounty, it's Bounty Company, right? But Bounty is made by who? Procter & Gamble. So it's really P&G, but we don't see it. We don't say that's Procter & Gamble. We say that's Bounty. And if you go to the website, there'll be Bounty website. There'll be a site for Bounty. All different types of things on that. So the sender is the company. Again, some companies, all the products are under the name of the company. Other companies, Apple, everything's Apple, right? Everything is Apple. You know it's an Apple product. Other companies, they're just names and they're part of their product mix of the company. So the sender, the company, encodes the message. So the second step is encoding. Encoding is the source or the sender putting the message in some type of meaningful words. So it's translating the message to some type of meaningful words. So if we take this like a TV commercial, the company puts together know, the words for a commercial and the visuals, or anything. So that's encoding. The source is deciding what to say, translating the words, hoping to have some meaning and understanding. So then you put together and you go to some form of media. So now you decide where you're going to go in TV, newspapers, print, magazines, outdoor, billboard, social marketing, whatever you're going to do, online advertising. So you put in some form of media. It's a big decision because there's so many choices today. There are so many choices in the forms of media you could use to reach a target audience. So that's your message. So you encoded your media, you decided what your message, and your message is going to go into the media, some form of media. So you can call it message, you can call it media, you can do it everything you want. So you encoded, you got your message, put your message into some form of media. You decide what media you're going to use based on your target audience and you know what your objective is. So here's where it gets a little tricky. So now, decoding, I don't know, the book says that comes first, but you gotta have a receiver. So the receiver decodes the message. So now, he or she sees this media, this message, in some form of media, and they translate it into what they think it means. Hopefully, and we'll get back to this because this is where it all gets screwed up. Hopefully it's what the receiver translates the same message that the source sent from encoding, so it's the same exact thing. Then after that, there's a response. We'll go through this, what the problems are. So you hope that it's a favorable response, that the consumer says, yeah, that's because I'm the right target audience, and I think this is could help me make my life easier. And then the feedback, your hope is to go buy the product or whatever the objective is, go online and buy it, go to the store and buy it, go to the website and get more information. But the feedback is you make a decision that you want to go and, you know, hopefully buy the product. It's a purchase. So that's the way it's supposed to work. So let's go over all the problems that can happen here. What could happen here is, let's assume. Well, first you can have a problem here. Your message you didn't put in the right media. I would assume in this day and age, that, unless you're, don't know what you're doing, you hire advertising agencies or in-house agencies, that the message is going to be put in the right media. I would hope that, against the right target audience. You buy by numbers, everything's number oriented today. There's no guessing, there's no thinking, I think this is good. You buy by numbers, everything is quantitative. There's very little guessing when you buy media. It's all quantitative buy. It's a number buy. So let's assume that unless you're completely off the wall, that your message was placed in the right media, which, you know, it may or may not happen, but I would assume it is. Now, so you said sex sells, right? So, yeah, that's so. So we got sex, we got humor, we got celebrities, we got song and dance, we got so many different ways. You know, song and dance may have a jingle or something. So we'll use celebrity first. You have a celebrity who's endorsing your product. The receiver, this guy, this woman, when they decode it, you say, well, what car company is Derek Jeter pushing? Okay, so but if you said Toyota, then guess what? Derek Jeter was more powerful than and the message, which was Ford, and it's a failure. So it fails. The decoding fails. If I did a sexy spot and I asked you on a recall, what product was that? And you say, I can't remember, but I can remember the commercial, the product fails, the message fails. If you say, gee, it was very funny, and then you say, yeah, well, what product was that? Who did that funny spot? And you say, gee, I can't remember, is it this, is it that company, is it AT&T, is it Sprint, is it T-Mobile, who said there were, 4 gigabytes of triple fast? Which company said that? Because they're all saying this, I'm all confused, man. And so you mentioned the wrong company, and guess what? The receiver didn't decode what you encoded, and it fails. The problem with that is that you have to be creative to get attention. So if you're not creative, you don't get attention. But if you're too creative, it overpowers the message, and the consumer doesn't decode it correctly either. The receiver doesn't decode it correctly either. So you got to get attention. You understand that? But you have to remember the product is always the hero. You can execute it in many different ways, but the source is the hero. So the consumer, when they decode it, the receiver decodes it, it's got to be what you encoded. So if you have a person standing up there and say, buy this product, that's boring, and nobody's going to remember it. Nobody's going to remember. The recall rate's going to be nothing. But if you're so tricky and it's such an animated spot, and it's funny, and it's this and that, and then you go and say, who's the product? What beverage was that? And you say, that was Sprite, and it was Dr. Pepper. Then guess what? It's a waste, because your creativity overpowered the positioning of the product. And that's why you pay these authors and copywriters and the creative team to come up with these big ideas. But these big ideas, these great campaigns, the execution can't overshadow the product as the hero or the service as the hero, because that receiver has to decode it what you encoded. So it's very, very tricky. Then, you notice on this chart, what complicates this even more is noise. So, through this whole thing is noise. What is noise? Yeah.
Anything that disrupts the sender.
Anything that could disrupt this. Now, there's internal noise, you can be unhappy, you can have a bad day, and things of that nature, and that is, as a sender, I can't overcome that. There's something internally that's bothering you, because if something internally is bothering you, you're probably not going to receive it well anyway, because that's not what you're thinking about. So that's the internal noise is one thing. The external noise is what we're really talking about. That's all your competition, all the other competitors, and all the other media going after the same target audience. That's noise. Noise is when you have, in primetime TV, you have 9 minutes of commercials in a 30-minute program. And, the average commercial is 30 seconds, is about 70% of them. So if we just use that as an average, that's 9 minutes, that's 18 different companies in a 30-minute program, which all bought that show based on that demographic of that show matched the product's target audience. That's noise. That means you are competing on that show with 18 different products, maybe more if they run 15, please, maybe more if they run 10 or 20. You are competing with 18 different companies, maybe more than that, and that's all noise. So that's what I said, if you don't stand out, if your message is not creative, you're not going to get that attention, because those 18 companies, that's noise. And how many are you going to recall? If you have a recall of maybe 2 out of those 18 spots, and you're one of those 2, I think you did magnificent. You definitely separated yourself. That means you hit a tone against your target audience, and they recalled your message. And then that would be pretty good. So that's noise. You go to a magazine, and the magazine has, take a magazine like, a fashion magazine like Vogue for the ladies, or Cosmopolitan, and it's 250 pages. Out of those 250 pages, 175 pages are ads. That's your noise. You have 175 pages of noise. You're one of those 175 pages. What's gonna be the recall rate? Who are they gonna see? Who are they gonna remember? You gotta be pretty good, you know. If there's 175 ads, maybe there's 10, 15, 20 in the same category. You gotta compare how well you stand out of those 175 pages and how well you stand out in the category. If there's 20 in the category and you're number 20, nobody's gonna respond to that. Nobody's gonna react to it. Because your ad wasn't exciting enough to get some type of action. You know, you didn't get a response. The response was nothing. So that's noise. That's noise. So we went over selective perception. We just get tremendous amount of stimuli. That's the noise. And just remember, nobody's sitting there, unless if it's a Super Bowl commercial, waiting to see the commercial. Nobody's saying, when's the next commercial? When's the next page? I'm turning the page. When's the next ad? When's the next billboard? When am I getting my next email, you know, on something that, which I want to delete, you know? Nobody's waiting for this stuff. So you're up against a market, especially younger people who don't want to be bothered, don't want to hear this crap. And you got to make them want to hear. This is your job as a marketing person. You're going to make them want to open that email up, you know. You got to get them to respond. So that's noise. That's noise. And that's the real problem. So you can fail in a lot of ways. The receiver can decode it correctly. Don't remember the name of the product, don't remember the position. You may have the wrong media, the wrong message. Bad. You know, the noise factor could just absolutely, it can't break through because of the noise factor. That's why everybody's looking for that big campaign, the breakthrough campaign that gets everybody's attention, to get the social marketing, to get the buzz, to get people to talk about it. That's what you're looking for. It's very, very important today. That's why you got so many different ways that you try to stand out of the pack, to make you stand out. You know, from that noise, we call it cluster, we call it noise, whatever you want to call it. That's noise. And that's what you're up against in this communication process. You're competing against others for the awareness level of your target audience, and hopefully to get a good response, and then feedback leads you. You would hope to buy the product, use the service, or do something that's favorable, whatever the objective was. Everybody understand this process? How it works? How it's not as simple as a little chart like this. This is a lot of work that goes into these things. This is what people get paid to do, to come up with a great, exciting message against your target audience, get them to respond favorably, get them to break through the noise in the cluster, and hopefully respond favorably, and hopefully buy the product. And this is what you're up against every day if you're in marketing. The stronger the brand, the better shot you have, because you have brand equity built in. The better the company, in terms of whether they like you or don't like you, the better the PR out there, the more positive it is, the maybe the more you may respond. Everything helps. That's why you got to have all these things working synergistically. You got to have great advertising. If you're in a consumer product, you have great sale promotion. You got to have great PR in terms of and social marketing. You got to get a great field force to get the product out there. And you got to build up a database of your customers. And you can do all that, then you got to come up with a creative message that the receiver decodes what you hope, and then hopefully they respond, and the feedback is the buy. That's how it works. Any questions on this 14.2 figure communication process? We all understand it? We all understand it?
Yep.
Great. I got 7:47, so what's the 20-minute break? When is that at?
7:07. 8:07.
8:07 it is then. Good man. Good man. 8:07 it is. We'll come back at 8:07.